Following the altercation where Crawford confronted Canelo at the airport, things quickly went downhill for him. The situation escalated rapidly, resulting in Crawford being detained by airport security and ultimately ending up in handcuffs.
All the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
Reports have surfaced indicating a recent incident involving Terence "Bud" Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion. Following a brief scuffle, local authorities arrived and took Crawford into custody. Fortunately, he was released shortly after, but the situation hints at potential turbulence in Crawford's immediate future. Despite this, Crawford's focus remains laser-sharp on one thing: securing a fight with Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's biggest names. According to British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, Crawford's sole interest at this stage in his career is this blockbuster showdown. Crawford, already an undisputed champion in two divisions, super lightweight and welterweight, has recently made a significant impact in the super welterweight division. His debut saw him capturing the WBA title from Israel Madrimov, positioning him as a major player and bringing him closer to a historic achievement. Despite this, Crawford's ambitions seem directed elsewhere. Eddie Hearn has been vocal about Crawford's motivations, suggesting that Crawford is driven less by legacy and more by the financial rewards a fight with Canelo could bring. Crawford, now 36, has already cemented his place in boxing history. According to Hearn, Crawford is now more concerned with securing lucrative fights that will allow him to retire comfortably. "I don't think Terence Crawford will fight again unless it's against Canelo Alvarez," Hearn told TalkSport. "He's made solid money in his last few fights, and I don't think he's interested in facing Virgil Ortiz or Jaron Boots Ennis. He's only looking for big paydays now, and that means Canelo." This perspective sheds light on a broader issue within the boxing world. Elite fighters who have achieved significant success often become more selective in their later careers. Crawford's career earnings have skyrocketed, particularly after high-profile victories over Errol Spence Jr. and Madrimov. These massive paydays have undoubtedly influenced his outlook on future fights. As Hearn pointed out, Crawford has grown accustomed to substantial sums for his ring appearances, making it unlikely he would take a pay cut to fight lesser-known names. Hearn's comments highlight the strategic approach many elite fighters adopt as they near the end of their careers. With millions in the bank and a potential mega fight with Canelo on the horizon, Crawford is in no rush to face lesser-known contenders. Instead, he appears content to wait for the perfect opportunity to secure an enormous payday, a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Interestingly, a Crawford-Canelo fight almost materialized earlier this year when Saudi Arabian boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh expressed interest in the event. Al-Sheikh even placed the matchup at the top of his boxing wish list. However, a breakdown in communication led to Al-Sheikh withdrawing his offer and accusing Canelo of ducking both David Benavidez and Crawford. This public statement caused a temporary halt in discussions about the potential bout, but it seems the bridges between the two camps have been mended, making the fight once again a possibility. The main issue now is timing. Canelo Alvarez has his own agenda. After his fight with Edgar Berlanga, he announced plans to take a break to spend time with his family and enjoy his money before returning to the ring. This means Crawford will have to wait, despite having other potential options like a fight with Sebastian Fundora or rising stars like Virgil Ortiz or Jaron Ennis. However, according to Hearn, Crawford is determined to wait for Canelo. Crawford's mindset is clear. He's not interested in any fight that doesn't sound right, Hearn said. He's made so much money already, and after that tough bout with Madrimov, he might not want to risk it all again. Crawford's career has been marked by strategic moves, and his current stance reflects this approach. While he has the chance to make history by unifying the super welterweight division, he's not rushing to fight just anyone. Instead, he seems content to bide his time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to secure an enormous payday, something only a fight with Canelo Alvarez could provide. Crawford's recent victory over Israil Madrimov at 154 Ulbs has many wondering how his skills would translate at an even higher weight. Madrimov, a formidable opponent, tested Crawford's abilities, and while Crawford emerged victorious, it raised questions about his potential to jump up 2 additional weight classes to fight at 168 Ulbs against Canelo Alvarez. Crawford himself seems open to the idea, but not without some considerations. Speaking to DAZN's Chris Mannix after his win, Crawford made it clear that his decision would depend on. Even with his confidence, the reality of moving up from 154 Ulbs to 168 Ulbs is a monumental task. Crawford knows it. Canelo's got a fight that he's focused on, Crawford said. "I'm going to go back to my family. I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy this win. Enjoy all the accomplishments that I've made in the sport of boxing." At this stage of his career, Crawford has already cemented his place in boxing history as a multi-division world champion. He has conquered every challenge thrown his way, but facing Canelo at 168 Ulbs would be a different kind of test. A challenge of both size and skill that could push the very limits of his ability. While Crawford remains optimistic, he is aware that moving up in weight isn't just about skill. It's about how power and durability translate across divisions. Madrimov, while a skilled and tough opponent at 154 Ulbs, doesn't compare to the challenges waiting for Crawford at super middleweight. Canelo Alvarez, who is naturally bigger and has spent years fighting at the weight, has shown that he can absorb punishment from much larger fighters and still dominate. For Crawford, stepping into the ring with someone like Canelo means facing a man who has already proven his mettle at higher weights and has the knockout power to back it up. Crawford himself is no stranger to overcoming obstacles. He has risen through the ranks, defeating champions in multiple weight classes. However, 168 Ulbs is a leap into uncharted territory for Bud. As he considered the potential fight with Canelo, Crawford didn't seem deterred by the challenge. "Not at all," he said. "I'm pretty sure Madrimov could fight at 168. This guy is big. In the amateurs, he fought at a higher weight than he is now, and he was very competitive." Crawford's point about Madrimov's size is valid. Madrimov is no small fighter, and Crawford handled him well. But there's a world of difference between an opponent like Madrimov and a seasoned elite fighter like Canelo. Madrimov may have competed at higher weights in the amateurs, but Canelo has been dominant at super middleweight and even moved up to light heavyweight to capture a title. The gap could be substantial, making Crawford's potential jump for 168 Ulbs a massive gamble. The real question is whether Crawford's skills, his timing, his ring IQ, and his power can hold up against bigger and stronger opponents. While Crawford has carried his power up to 154 Ulbs, 168 Ulbs is an entirely different challenge. Canelo Alvarez, who is naturally bigger and stronger, has shown that he can take punches from much larger fighters and still deliver knockout blows. Crawford, on the other hand, has proven his ability to adapt and overcome, but the jump to 168 Ulbs would test his limits like never before. For now, it appears Terence Crawford is content to play the waiting game. He's not interested in a quick return to the ring, and according to Hearn, it's unlikely that fans will see him fight anyone other than Canelo Alvarez in the near future. Crawford's focus is on securing the most lucrative opportunities available, and a fight with Canelo represents the pinnacle of financial and professional achievement. Crawford has the unique opportunity to make boxing history by becoming the first fighter in the four-belt era to unify 3 divisions. His victory over Israil Madrimov earned him the WBA title in the super welterweight division, and now the WBO has ordered their champion, Sebastian Fundora, who also holds the WBC title,